You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A double shooting over the weekend put one man in the hospital and took the life of another in Hanover Township. The shooter still on the loose. Local, county, and state police rushed to 3 scenes around 1:30 Sunday afternoon, where crime unit investigators searched one residence on Wyln Street and removed a Ring doorbell for analysis. It was reported that a trail of blood could be seen starting on Wyln Street, heading up the hill to South Main, and ending at 309 Lee Park Avenue. The fatal victim was identified as 25-year-old Fernando Vasquez Vitini of Scranton, who was taken to Geisinger and died of multiple gunshot wounds. Police consider his death a homicide. Another man was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities continue to connect the dots of this ongoing investigation. An early morning call to the Hazleton Police Department led to a drug arrest in the city. HPD got called to the area of 2nd and Peace Streets around 4 this morning for a report of a disorderly, shirtless male yelling and screaming to his ex-girlfriend from a second-story window. He was later identified as 27-year-old Joel Castillo Pena of Hazleton, who already had an arrest warrant out on him for possession of a controlled substance and numerous other charges. While in custody, police found $1,000 in cash, 2.7 grams of cocaine, 2.1 grams of crack, 6.8 grams of raw heroin, 9 Xanax bars, 65 oxycodone hydrochloride pills, marijuana, a digital scale with white residue, and a large white rock, determined to be a cutting agent. Pena was charged for his crimes and will soon be taken before a judge for arraignment. A woman admits to her role in the murder of her grandfather back in April of 2019. Gabriella Long pled guilty Monday morning to third-degree murder and conspiracy charges for her role in the murder of her grandfather, 71-year-old Joseph Monka of Edwardsville. Investigators say Long, who was 17 at the time, another woman, and 2 men plotted to rob and kill Long's grandfather last spring. The 4 allegedly stabbed Monka to death at his home and drove off in his car and $30,000 from a safe. Long was sentenced to serve 35 to 80 years behind bars for her role in the Luzerne County homicide, while 2 of the 3 others already sit behind bars after previously pleading guilty. A man faces charges after breaking into the One Group business on South Vine Street Saturday. Police received a report of a male who entered the building after smashing out a window on its south side. Once at the scene, officers were given access inside to clear the building. It was then that Christopher Molina was successfully located in the basement and taken into custody. Molina was processed and arraigned on charges of burglary, criminal trespass, and criminal mischief. He sits behind Luzerne County prison bars after failing to post $75,000 bail. A Hazleton man was recovered from the Lackawanna River Friday evening in Scranton. The Lackawanna County coroner identified the body as 29-year-old Yuri Caraballo Jimenez, who was discovered by a fisherman near the bridge on West Olive Street just after 5:30. His death was ruled an accidental drowning, with heavy rain this past week and high water levels most likely contributing to his death. The coroner believes the Hazleton man was in Scranton's homeless setting and was in the water for more than a day. Scranton police continue to investigate the incident. An investigation into the scratch-off lottery ticket thief resulted in the arrest of 5 people Friday evening. Robert Green was identified as the man who swiped lottery tickets Tuesday from the Sitco service station on Wilkes-Barre Township Boulevard. Police executed a search warrant at an area hotel and allegedly found over 1,100 packets of heroin and fentanyl, meth, marijuana, packaging materials, and nearly $1,000 in cash. That's where police found 4 others hiding, including 31-year-old Brady Hall of Milton, who was wanted in Union County on homicide charges related to a drug delivery resulting in death. Police also found Anthony DeLuca, wanted for dangerous drugs, Michelle Hauser, wanted for drugs, and George William Robb, wanted for escape. All face felony drug charges while DeLuca was taken to Luzerne County Prison Friday for arraignment. Shots were fired at a gas station Thursday afternoon in Hanover Township. According to the department's Facebook page, the incident was reported just before 1 Thursday afternoon at the Star gas station and convenience store on South Main Street. Police say 2 people got into an argument that led to the exchange of gunfire. Both fled the scene in separate vehicles headed toward Wilkes-Barre. The incident's still under investigation, so anyone with information is being asked to contact Hanover Township Police at 570-825-1254. A Pottsville woman is locked up in Schuylkill County Prison after admitting to stealing a vehicle in the city. A station wagon was reported stolen from the 700 block of West Norwegian Street Wednesday morning. 38-year-old Alicia Kinsel of Pottsville was identified through surveillance and body cam footage. Kinsel was eventually located and taken into custody after the car was found in LVH Schuylkill's East parking garage and admitting her guilt. Kinsel faces theft of a motor vehicle, receiving stolen property, and operating a vehicle with a suspended license. She was taken to Schuylkill County Prison with her cash bail set at $50,000. For the first time in 17 years, Packer Township's updating its zoning and subdivision and land development ordinances. Township supervisors are holding a public hearing tonight at 7, followed by a 7:30 meeting to adopt a new zoning ordinance as well as a new subdivision and land development ordinance. The goal is to discuss, inform, and receive public comments on both of the new proposed laws. The meeting will be available via Zoom as well, so be sure to visit the Township's website for more information. Coming up on Wyln News, youth sports are getting a little love too. Plus, how do you feel about reopening downtown Hazleton? But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Benova. I'm 12 years old, and this is your Wyln forecast for the week.
Hey everyone, Tingo here, physical therapist with Physical Therapy at Santos. And today we're going to talk about hip pain and 2 of the most common areas you can get hip pain and something that you can potentially try at home to try and help with it. So 2 muscular causes of hip pain is 1, piriformis syndrome, which is a muscle and creates pain right in the butt, and 2, tendinopathies of the gluteal muscles, gluteus minimus and medius, which typically happens on the outside of the hip. For the piriformis syndrome, what you're going to do is sit right on the roller like this with your foot in this position and just roll forwards and backwards for a minute or so. And for the gluteus tendons, you roll right on the side here like this, and then you roll up and down on that foot roller. So the key is to find the areas of the tightness is, know which muscles are causing your problem. Be sure to try the foam roller. If it helps, great. If it doesn't, don't be afraid to give us a call. We can try and identify your problem and see if we can help out.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
MMI plans to start the school year August 25th with in-person instruction and offer the option of both live stream and recorded courses. The approved plan will maximize social distance and require all-day face coverings. Larger spaces in the building were outfitted for classrooms to allow for enough space between students and webcams. MMI's maintenance staff also developed an enhanced cleaning and sanitation process to assist with keeping the school clean and sanitized. In addition to their new standard, common areas were assigned an Austin Air HealthMate air purification system that'll run daily when school's in session. Luzerne County youth sports leagues can receive funding to ensure health and safety. Local youth sports leagues are eligible for a share of $400,000 in federal CARES Act funds available for leagues' COVID-19 mitigation plans and preparations. Sports leagues may apply for grants up to $2,000 per organization. The funds must be used to prepare, plan, and respond to the coronavirus. That includes social distancing, safety signs, hand sanitizer, and masks. Receipts and invoices must be provided with the application before funds can be released. Deadline to apply is August 14th. Youth sports leagues can start applying online at luzernecounty.org. $96 million in state grants were awarded to nearly 5,000 small businesses across Pennsylvania, impacted by the pandemic and non-essential business closure orders. Businesses within every county received grants in the first of 2 rounds of funding, and 51% were awarded to historically disadvantaged businesses. The second and final round of fundings opened today until 11:59 p.m. Friday, August 28th. Eligible applicants that weren't awarded in the first round do not need to reapply and will be rolled into the next round for consideration. More information can be found online at the DCED's website. Hazleton Public Transit received a $10 million grant for transportation site improvements and new buses. Congressman Matt Cartwright announced that the money will come from the U.S. Department of Transportation's Federal Transit Administration Buses and Bus Facilities program. The program makes federal resources available to both states and direct recipients to replace, rehabilitate, and purchase buses and other related equipment. HPT operates bus routes in the city of Hazleton, as well as surrounding townships and boroughs. The Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress wants to know how local consumers feel about reopening. DHAP is surveying how residents feel about the reopening of stores, shops, restaurants, recreational venues, events, and more, as well as their concerns for public safety and the economy. The survey is being used as a tool to understand what the public's comfortable with right now and how customers are willing to patronize local businesses. You have until 5 p.m. Friday, August 14th to take the survey, which can be found online at downtownhazleton.org. Coming up on Cunningham's News Choice, we bring back our green-faced chat with the local hair salon and community in U. Plus, it's not looking too good for the Big Ten this year. Stay with us.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
Looking for information on the coronavirus pandemic? Make sure it's from a reliable source.
Go to WYLNTV.com and click on the Lehigh Valley Health Network banner
For the real facts about the coronavirus pandemic. And watch WYLN News live at 5:30 for updates on this ongoing crisis. The source matters now more than ever. WYLN, we're your local network.
It's a little bit different getting your hair cut with a mask on. Barbara, how have you been handling all this?
Well, it's been a little bit of a challenge, but we've got to get through it. You want to keep your clients safe, and you want to protect yourself, so It's an adjustment, but I guess we'll have to make it through.
What are some of the adjustments that you've had to make so far?
Well, only having one client at a time is a little rough, trying to figure your scheduling, because you have to make enough time in between to be able to sanitize everything. You have to wipe down everything someone touched. Then you have to walk them out, wipe down your door handles. And we never had to do that before. We always had sanitized things, our combs, brushes, but we never had to do what we have to do now.
When all of this started, about how many clients would you say you had to reschedule?
About 50.
50?
Yep.
So how do you do that? Because anybody who knows, it takes a while to get a perm, it takes a while to get color. So that has all had to change, and you are here in the shop by yourself because you're doing this out of your own shop.
Yes. And it's not easy because you have to call them. First of all, we didn't know when we were able to open. We found out like a week before. We were watching the TV and we figured we'd be right after Carbon County. And then on a Monday, right before we opened, that Friday, they gave us the rules and regulations. So then you get on the phone and start calling everybody. And those that you couldn't get, you'd have to have them call you back. So it's been a little challenging trying to call everybody within a week to get some scheduled, and we have to work longer hours because we can't do as many people as we used to do with social distancing and only having one client per stylist.
So if I was in here getting a color right now, let's say, and somebody else wanted to come in for a cut, you wouldn't even be able to let them come in?
No. And I always worked on appointments only. And now, some places that had walk-ins, they're not allowed to take a walk-in. You have to call and make your appointment. You have to make sure nobody else is in here. And then you have to have them either wait in their car or have somewhere. And if you have a place outside for them to sit, then you have to go and sanitize it before the next person comes.
Were there other things that you had to purchase before you could reopen?
Yes, I purchased throwaway capes for all my chemical services because the other plastic ones, they take so long when you wash them to dry them. You wash them 5 times, they fall apart. So one of my friends in Wilkes-Barre, they said that there was a place where you could get the plastic and throwaways. So I did buy them and I found out they worked pretty good. So I ordered a lot more because I was afraid that they would sell out and I wouldn't be able to get them. So I ordered 100 more and hopefully they'll last me a little while.
How has it been? Because again, I know just knowing you, it's always a good time to come in here and find out what's going on and to chat. And
well, now you have to rush the person out of here. Because you need to take a breather in between to take your mask off. And then you feel terrible because all my clients are mostly friends also because I've been doing it over 30 years. And now you can't give them a cup of coffee if they're sitting here with a chemical service because they can't take their mask off.
And when we're talking about people coming back, how have you been dealing with those who have quarantine hair and have been attempting to do it on their own?
Well, thank goodness I didn't get any corrective colors yet. A couple of my clients called and asked what kind of box color should they buy because they didn't want to mess up their hair. And some of them, they just said, the heck with it. They put on headbands or a hat. So it hasn't been too bad.
What about corrective cuts?
Well, that's a little challenging, especially if they took a chunk out, because then they'd say they couldn't get their sideburns right, so they just cut it off, and you work with it.
So what do you have to say now to all the people who are starting to come back and who are, because I know you have been very cautious and you continue to be very cautious.
Yes. Well, you just have to tell them when you call for their appointment, tell them make sure they wear a mask. I have signs on my doors, and if they don't go to the sanitizer, I go to them. And it's a little bit challenging because so far nobody has complained about the mask, but they said, how do you cut around my ears? I said, well, then you hold the mask on your face and we unhook it. So.
And that's what it's all been about.
Yep.
Just the whole idea of being able to make it work because, well, that's what we have to do in this day and age. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again on Community and You.
Hi, I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-through lane. Don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
Tune in every Sunday night on WYLN from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action as only Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling High Voltage can bring you. That's Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling every Sunday night on WYLN. I'll see you in the ring.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about visiting a restaurant that has a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we'll be featuring on our show. Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Jeff Bonomo and his co-host, Alan Giannetti, welcome you into the world of craft beer, great wine, and good food. Wine, Hops, and Road Stops.
How you doing, everybody? This is Ricardo Santos from Yay Zapata. That's right, Yay Zapata in the house. That's what's up, that's what's up.
Meet Ricardo Santos. This is one of his Mexican food trucks. He is not a chef.
I'm not the chef.
But he makes amazing Mexican food. And he has joined the WYLN family with his own cooking show, Cooking with Jay Zapata.
It's not looking too bright for the Big Ten Conference after an announcement may come through Tuesday to cancel its 2020 college football season. Big Ten presidents and chancellors look to be set on ending the season before it begins, citing health and safety coronavirus concerns. The conference recently announced their fall schedule. Penn State opened up its fall football camp last week and was meant to continue into this week in hopes of September 5th's home opener at Beaver Stadium. PSU's Northwestern matchup was one of 10 games scheduled to happen this fall. However, the season's cancellation seems expected at this point in time. We'll have more on the official word within the next 24 hours. Is it too early for making Christmas plans? Because Knoebels already announced something neat to drive through this holiday season. The amusement park announced a drive-through light display to kick off the holiday season. This November, visitors can enjoy Joy Through the Grove, where you can drive through both the park and campground to see their Christmas display of over 15 miles of string lights and more than 400 light-up pieces. The holiday event starts November 27th and will continue on nightly into the first week of January. WYLN once again partnered with Heller's Gas to bring you a weekly online promotion. Takeout Tuesday features 5 local restaurants each week on our Facebook page. All you have to do is like Heller's Gas, WYLN News, and each featured restaurant's Facebook pages to be entered to win. Then, click and share the post. One winner is picked at random every Tuesday to win the featured gift certificate bundle. Be sure to keep tabs on our Facebook page for your chance to be our winner next week. That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com, where you can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.